So at the time, at the previous, say, 10 months or so before I actually started buying advertising, I was trying to make websites, and I'd gotten into a little bit of online marketing stuff. I was trying to make websites and trying to learn about, driving traffic through natural search and trying to monetize the site with AdSense ads or affiliate ads or whatever. So this was kind of my plan, and after about 10 months of doing that, I'd made a total of, I think, around $5. So it wasn't going all that well, and it just was really slow, and it just seemed like it was never going to go anywhere. But what happened was, I was trying to build a fitness site, okay, because I knew a little bit about fitness, and as I would browse the internet for months on end trying to figure out how I was going to build my site and what I wanted to include on my site and how I was going to organize it and all this kind of stuff, I was browsing fitness sites constantly. Basically every day I was looking at fitness sites. And I kept seeing this one ad, okay? For months on end I would see this same ad, and it was just showing all over the place, all over every website I would come to, there would be this ad. And it got me thinking that there must be a reason why this ad stays showing all the time. I understood that I'd never done any advertising, but I understood that the ads cost money, and I understood after a little bit of investigating, I learned that it was an affiliate product, and so I got curious, and basically, this is what it came down to, and this is kind of what started, my path into, buying traffic and learning about how to promote products, as an affiliate through paid advertising. All right, so before we really get into the meat of the presentation, I want to show you just real quickly here and clarify what we're going to be talking about today. A lot of you may kind of know what pay-per-click is in general, but I want to clarify something here. These are search ads, all right? These are ads that show up next to the search results, whether it's google.com or bing.com or whatever. We're not going to be talking about these ads. I don't have really any experience with this sort of advertising. I have spent maybe $500 total on search ads, and it never really worked for me, and really I just found that the next type of ads I'm going to show you is really where I found success, and that's what I've concentrated on ever since. So I'm not talking about search ads today. This is what we're going to talk about. This is an example of Google AdSense ads, otherwise known as content network ads, otherwise known as display network ads. Now Google has changed the name. They're going by the Google Display Network now. And it's not just Google AdSense that it has this sort of advertising. There's all sorts of different ad networks that show up on different websites like this. And the key distinguishing factor here between these and search ads is that they don't show up, next to search results. They're not necessarily keyword targeted. They show up on web pages all across the internet. So this is actually a Yelp page, and there's ads here just next to the content. All right, and then these are banner ads, and this is very similar to those little text ads in that they show up next to page content. And this is also sort of along the lines of what we're going to be talking about today. Banner ads, display ads, banner ad buying, media buying, all these terms are kind of related to buying the advertisements that show up within web content all through the internet on these different websites. All right, so the difference between these types of advertising is kind of important to understand. And with search, the main thing that I didn't like about search and what I found was that it's tedious, and that to really do it correctly, you have to write unique ads for each keyword. It's highly competitive because there's only 10 spots on a particular page for each keyword. And so I just found that it really wasn't something that kind of worked for me. It takes an awful lot of work to do it right. You're writing unique ads for every keyword practically. It just wasn't something that I found was working for me. The reason why I like content network ads is mainly this right here. You can often write just a few ads, and you basically have access to just a ton more traffic than search ads. And what I mean by, you can just write a few ads, you can write, just a couple ads, and those ads can show on thousands of websites, and they'll perform very well on all of those websites if you do it right. So much different than search, where you're having to write unique ads for every little bit of traffic from every single search that you're trying to get traffic from. You can place these ads oftentimes across thousands of websites, and you'll get very good results with the same ad. So that's a huge advantage in my opinion. It's just you can focus on just writing a couple ads, and it's not as much work. There's massive traffic available. as well. And it's not as competitive because people don't really understand this sort of advertising. It's, you know, in the last couple years, I think there's been more awareness and some people are starting to understand it a little better. But in general, most people still don't really understand how to utilize the content network or do banner buys as well as search is understood. And then finally, that last type of advertising that's very similar to the content network or contextual ads is media buying or display. The same way, for the same reason, you can often write just a few ads and have them perform across thousands of websites. This is a little more competitive, and the reason why I say it's more competitive is just because you end up competing with a lot of brand advertisers. So, I mean, you know, companies like Progressive or I don't know, Coca-Cola, or somebody that's, you know, buying a lot of banner space, and they're not watching performance metrics like an affiliate marketer would be, you know, tracking conversions and that sort of thing. And they just have a lot of money to spend, and oftentimes with these ad networks, you're going to be competing against those advertisers, and that makes it a little more competitive. There's massive traffic available as well through media buying channels or through display ad channels. All right, so here we go. The three key factors we're going to talk about apply to the content network or banner network advertising. There's over 30 major ad networks, and then what's also included in this type of advertising is just direct site buying, like I mentioned earlier, where you just contact a website and you negotiate a deal with them directly, and you're not buying through an ad network. And then finally, you know, these are the channels. This is really how it's possible to scale to big numbers as an affiliate, or, you know, maybe you own the offer, maybe you have your own product to sell, whatever. But what it comes down to is that scaling to big numbers, and when I say big numbers, you know, $10,000 to $100,000 a day is what's possible in commissions or in sales or however you want to look at it through these advertising channels. You know, this is not something that happens through search. And here's why. This is an example. This is what this is called is, this is known as the golden triangle, and what you're looking at here is the search results page whenever somebody does a search on Google. And this is an eye tracking study where they're able to tell where people that are doing searches are looking on the page, and then these X's are actually where they're clicking the mouse. So what this shows, you know, very clearly is that when somebody hits a search results page, they don't really pay much attention to the search ads. They're paying attention to the search results, and they're interested in diving into the content that's available to them on the internet for whatever the term is that they search. Okay, so what it comes down to, you know, why is there so much traffic available through these contextual and banner advertising networks? It's just that people don't spend a lot of time on the search page. They come to the search page and they immediately leave and they go into the broader internet and they start doing their browsing, and they come into contact with all these content network ads and all these banner ads. And then finally, you know, a lot of people don't even enter the internet through a search page at all. So they just, you know, directly go to these sites. You know, how many people, you know, wake up and go to CNN.com or MSN.com as kind of part of their daily routine. All right. So this is why all the traffic is through these channels. Okay. And then before we get started here, I want to just address this because, you know, some of you may have heard that the content network doesn't work, and I still hear this today. I hear it a little less than I did a few years ago. But I want to assure you that it does work, and I've been doing it successfully for the last 3 years now. And it works if you have these three factors dialed in. And this is really what we're going to talk about today.